Well, hello, my YouTube friends. To say that I'm happy doesn't even begin to cover the very half of it. I literally just received that knife in the mail today. And when I say today, it's like not even an hour ago. Not even that. I mean, I barely played with it a little bit. And I was so excited by that knife that I wanted to do a kind of, oh man, look at this view, woo! A kind of, whoa, the action is sublime. A kind of, not even a review, but a first look, yes, at this knife. I think I did that once, like a discovery video, like in the heat of the moment. Actually, I remember me saying saying that in one of my videos. The discovery of a knife in the heat of the moment, and I'm going to share it with the remaining followers that I have on YouTube. Thank you, Google. Thank you, YouTube, for not allowing people to see those beauties. But luckily, I still have you, my friends, and we're gonna enjoy that moment together. And it's kind of I don't know if I think it's possible to do a kind of live, but. I mean, I have 200 people looking at my videos now. If I do a live, I think that you're going to miss it for sure. But it's going to be like almost a live video because that's a pure discovery. And I'm going to stop my rant now and begin to review that knife. So, man, if I could have a lot of knives from Peter Carey, I would. I absolutely adore that guy. For those of you who don't know him, he's been making knives since I don't know, for the life of me, I can't remember. I think it's by the either early 2000 or very late 90s, something like that. And it's over 20 years that he's making knives. And the guy is a true gentleman. But for those of you who are just focusing on knives, understand that he's one of the very last makers that are true custom maker. I mean, he's making everything, no CNC involved, nothing, and everything he does, including the pivot here, the custom pivot, not the screws, but maybe that's the only thing that he doesn't do. So that's pure custom work. So that's something that for those of you who like custom knives, it's really appreciable. And overall, I mean, he's one also of the very few to make like constantly, almost boringly, perfect knives. You can expect to have an action that is going to be, I mean, check that. Boom, it fires like a rocket. You can expect to have an engagement that is going to be perfect always. It's smooth, as usual. The centering, look at that. You have the two-piece backspacer here with the line in the middle that shows you how centered it is. The detent is unbreakable. I mean, the junction here, we're going to review that, but mostly I can tell you that in order to wrap it up, to conclude before even beginning, you can expect always with Peter to have perfect knives. So why haven't I more Carey in my collection? I'll make it simple. The design, that's it. Okay, so Peter, most of the time, he's gonna make like bulky knives. The guy is a hunter, so he likes manly knives. So you can expect to have bulky knives, either in the width or in the thickness. Sorry, I don't know, in the width here. Even the Gordo for the the Gordo is small like that, but it's wide as hell and it's bulky. So. His designs, I like some of them, but most of the time this is the thing that stops me to get more knives from him, because basically the design that I like, and you know that if you follow me recently, I mean, if you follow me, sorry, on YouTube, I like clean lines, nothing crazy, something that is going to be sleek, small also. This is a very small knife. It's the blade length here, it's sleek, and it's 3 1/8 of an inch. So Very sleek knife. There is not a single knife in his lineup that can compare to that one. I mean, it's in size, in width, in length, in everything. This is really something special in his lineup, and I couldn't be happier because now I get to have actually the prototype of it. This is the first. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is also a pride of ownership. This is the prototype of the SCION. I expect this model to be quite popular, and I really hope for those of you guys who collect custom knives that he's gonna make more, but I see no reason why he would stop this endeavor, because this is to me by far my favorite design of his, by far. But again, that's a matter of taste. For those of you who don't have the same taste as I do, understand that Peter's, I mean, Peter's craftsmanship is above and beyond whatever you can imagine, is at the top of the game. You can expect every time to have a perfect knife with him. So my opinion are what they are, and what I describe is what I like. But again, I have to make a kind of compartmentalization and to part whatever is subjective to what is objective. And objectively speaking, Peter is perfect in his craftsmanship. So now, let's review that knife. A lot of things that I appreciate. First of all, the first design. So it's, like I said, it's the first of the SCION, so that I have a prototype here. I also happen to have, for the first time, the carbo quartz. For those of you who don't know what carbo quartz is, it's a very fancy material. It looks like carbon fiber, but man, this is a truly exceptional material. Jim Taffel, a friend of mine, who was working with Richard Mille, wanted to use, I mean, he's a watch lover and he's a knife lover too, and he had the idea to use this material, which basically was used only in Richard Mille case that they used for their watches. And he wanted to use that for the knives, and man, was he right to do that. So now a lot of maker absolutely adore that. A lot of collector adore that too. For the maker, it's really fun to work with it. Looks like really fun, and the finish is so sublime. I mean, it's basically some fiber with quartz in it. It's kind of tedious to do, very hard and very costly too. So that's why this is going to cost you as much probably as some Damascus. It's really expensive. So that's a dressy knife because this is dressy. Actually, by all means, it is dressy. Oh, something I want to address. This is also something that I really appreciate. I've spoken about that in some of my videos and post on Instagram. I absolutely adore to have a knife lately that is dressy, that has dressy accents, and is also something that you can use. And this is exactly where we stand in that consideration. Here, the carbo quartz is very fancy, but it's something that you can carry for sure. Very resilient material. Here is the mokume. Man, not only you can carry it, but you have to, because it's gonna get some patina, as it is started here already. Sorry about that. I said first that it was a two-color mokume because of what we have here, but now that I look at it more closely, I think it's three-color. Peter, please, if you're going to watch this video, help me out here. It looks like there are three-color mokume here, but for some reason I thought it was two-color. But here I can really see three-color, whatever. Mokume is gonna take some very nice patina as long as you're gonna carry it. So very much something that I want to carry. And of course the blade is satin, so that's definitely a user. The clip also, it's in carbo quartz, and the back spacer is superconductor, the original one. Love it. Love to have some copper here. I mean, you know, superconductor is a mix of copper. So you have copper in it, copper in the mokume also, which is, for those of you who don't know, a mix of copper, brass, whatever. A lot of material are involved. So, man, and the mix of the bronzish finish here and the black is something that that always works. So I have something that is dressy. I have something that I can use as an EDC for sure. This is going to have a lot of pocket time, believe me, my friend. And I'm going to be buried with it. So even if it has some marks, I don't care. This is going to be my knife. No one else. Maybe. I don't know for sure, but it's almost sure that this will stay in my collection. Oh man, already 10 minutes. I want to review the knife. So I've talked about this, the other thing. So that's my first carbo quads. I'm going to have others, but that's the first that I have, so I'm really happy with that. Also, the first of the saw, custom saw, he called it the saw pivot here. He just released it during TKI. Custom pivot made by Peter, and it looks exceptional. Not only by its look, and it's, you know, on both sides you have the same aspect, which is something that I appreciate, but it's flush here. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful custom pivot. As I told you earlier, the junction here are absolutely fantastic. No gap whatsoever. Check the contouring that you have here. Man, what a contouring, what a beautiful work done by Peter here. Absolutely phenomenal. Orange peel finish, and here you have a lot of junction, okay, between the liner, the bolster, and the scale here, and this is perfect, perfect, as usual, perfect. Even the backspacer, even the backspacer is flush. So it's not floating, okay, but it's flush, and it's two-piece, look at that. The junction, how many junction we have here? Scale, liner, one piece of backspacer, another piece of backspacer, liner, and here you put your finger and it's almost as if it was one piece. Incredible, and what a beautiful line. Check that view. I've started with that in the beginning. To see the centering here, the backspacer, and man, it's so beautiful. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Same on the other side. I wish Peter, I know he does that. He did that in a couple of knives. Maybe it was during one of the gathering or blade, I don't remember. He's doing hidden hardware, so I wish he could do hidden, at least on a clip, okay? But the screws in this bronzish finish here, you know, somehow I think, like I told you, it's in the heat of the moment, so I'm thinking about it while doing the video. I'm pretty sure that I like it better with screw now, because you have some accents of bronze that you have, that is a kind of reminder, you know, a reminiscence of the bolster here. So the screws in bronze here and here are kind of well blended in the knife, and I kind of appreciate it. Actually, I think it would be off if here it was only black. You see, it would miss something. Yeah, you know, like follow me on the check. If it was like that, something would be missing. You know, it's kind of another dressy part of it. I'm ranting, sorry about that. The hole, for those of you who like to put an onion hole, yeah, as I told you, the action is sublime. And then check the design of that blade. And this hand rub. I mean, I absolutely adore his hand rub. The design is so cool. I wish there was no logo, especially this one. Peter, I mean, I love you, but your logo is like the name and the whatever. It's not even a sexy logo. So I don't like, generally speaking, I don't like logos on the blade, especially on the beautiful hand rub as this one. So this is going to be my only con on that knife. Listen, it's going to be simple as that. This is the only con of the knife. Check this beautiful grind here. It's a dramatic hollow with this beautiful line here. Very delicate swedge. It's not over the top. You have a little ramp here. It's not going to be a big ramp. It's not going to be a big harpoon, but you have delicate touch of a delicate harpoon, delicate ramp, and overall a very nice shape here. I absolutely adore that shape. The jimping is very effective. Man, I've told you that it's going to be an EDC, and it's carrying so well. Look at that. Fingers goes here. The two fingers here, and the small one goes here. So even if you have some crazy lines as this line here like that, this curve here, and another curve here, it's very functional for probably almost every hand. Here, fingers here, and the tiny here. And even if it's small, as I told you, look at that. The reach is perfect, and you have the guard here that is very secure, and the jimping that will prevent your finger to move. But again, whenever you have a good guard, the jimping is not very useful, but it's still a very nice feature. The action I've told you, we are heading to the 15 minutes. It's a perfect knife. I am happy as I can be. I am happy to have had the opportunity to share it with you like that, as I told in the beginning, in the heat of the moment. And maybe I will do more of those kind of videos if I receive newer knives. Bye bye, my friend. It was a pleasure.